All right, so V&R saw the video on the Flamethrower. They called up and they said, hey, we don't associate with losers. So either get it working or stop coming around. In reality, things don't always go the way that you plan. But Kevin's taking this to heart with all the negative comments saying you guys suck. So here's the third attempt, but we're gonna
do we want to give our synopsis of what's happened?
Yeah, right after the intro. This is the intro. Here we go. All right, so Kevin, what happened? What did I do wrong? You were not around to tell me what I did wrong, so.
Well, the first problem that I saw was there was water in the sprayer line. As you noticed, we didn't get any fuel really out the first time.
So we had water in the lines, but we did get fuel. There was a couple good spurts. And they didn't light. If that would have lit, that would have been good enough for me.
But if you've ever seen an orchard sprayer spraying, it's like massive volume. There was no massive volume. The second time, I think maybe it wasn't frozen. We didn't get the good spray, but if you look at the end of the video, when the gearboxes blow and the motor revs up, we do get a better spray. So there probably was too much binding with the gearboxes to get enough pump in it.
And if you watch the video, the longer the thing runs, the more black smoke comes out of the Cummins, because it's just trying so hard, right?
Too much.
Now we're draining all the fuel out. V&R, being the good sports that they are, they say come to the yard. Actually, we grabbed this engine before. I never thought that we could use it for this, but I got a little 3-cylinder air-cooled Deutz. They told me if I don't do anything with this, they're going to scrap it. I think we're just after this Deutz. Looks nice and clean. Let's try it again and we'll watch. Now, because the Cummins has enough power to run the pump and the sprayer, but not enough to run the fans, we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna mount the Deutz facing the opposite way, so we're gonna drive that off of the crankshaft, the front pulley, not the back. We're gonna get rid of this tank because it's got a little bit of a hole in there. Now, compliments to Vince. This well didn't break, that well didn't break, that well didn't break, and that well didn't break. What actually broke is the U-joint over here. So Vince has a job tomorrow. Our jobs are questionable. So we're gonna go about this in a less barbaric way. Think about it a little bit and then try again. Here we go. Get the Germans involved in this. Dumbass me, there was a nice thing that bolted right up to here on that forklift. And I left it with a forklift. I'm like, I'll never need that. But anyway, I think we just make a drive shaft, somehow fit it on that. And then we need to shorten the frame.
Yeah, now you should shorten the frame. I don't know why you lengthened it. That seemed to be the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, everything was wrong right from the start, but we'll get there. I don't think we need to worry about any of this. We'll leave it alone. We'll put the engine right about here.
Yeah, well, that might be for phase 3.
Yeah, phase 4.
Phase 4. This is phase 3?
This is 3. This is the third attempt, right? Yeah. So, reading some of the comments from the previous videos, I learned quite a few things. Really good suggestions, like why don't you just use napalm instead of gas and diesel, and why don't you just use a taser as an igniter? I think a lot of people out there think that I'm American and I can go to Walmart and buy things like tasers and napalm. Well, that's not true. We're in Canada. Anyway, we got our hockey pucks for our engine mounts. We're gonna weld a plate across the bottom here, and we'll make the mounts for the back. Anyway, here we go. This plastic barrel should be much safer. So we got suction into the bottom. We got our valve returning into here, so we can see that we got good flow coming out. We've made some final upgrades. Now keep in mind, this is just a complete fun project with not very much thought into it. Our issue was that our engine was turning the wrong way. Our fan was spinning the wrong way. I left the tank alone. I figured that was complicated enough, whatever. If we stuck gearboxes in and just started spinning the fan the other way, then we could take the air from the side and push it in the back. Now there's a lot of comments about turning the fan around. I want to show you guys something. If I'm standing at the back of the fan and the fan blades are like this, and I take that fan off and I spin it around, I put it back on again, it's still pointing the same way. If it was that easy, we would have done that, because that's literally the first thing I did. Instead, we have our Cummins facing that way. We've got our Deutz facing this way. Because it being air cooled, we don't need a radiator or anything like that. And our lighting issue was also a problem. So we've run an extra line on a separate ball valve that is separate from all of the rest of these nozzles. And we pointed that nozzle straight out the back. So we're still gonna light it with the torch, slowly add some fuel, spray that out, light a pilot, then we'll turn the fan on, add a bunch of air, and then add a lot more gas and diesel. Now, our gas and diesel mix. This is a little bit of the spray of the fuel mixture. And it's lighting like way past the flame there. Don't even have to point it. That should work. Fire, fire. What's that? But the hose isn't even like flexing. It's like 120 PSI in that. This is like a little bleeder in case you close it. It has to go somewhere, right? Yeah. So it goes through there, back to return. This one's closed. I can take one of these off and crack that and see if anything comes out.
Yeah, we can try that.
It's also a 1/2 inch. Let's try it again. See if anything comes out. It's kind of a big deal that we got it going today, because tomorrow the owner's coming for this 4BT, so we can put it in that Escalade there. Probably not gonna be too happy.
Hey! Hey! Yeah, we never had that before.
If this doesn't start, I'm gonna be upset. I think I got a little bit of water in the fuel. Try it again.
I want to see you rebuild an engine with just that wrench. Pretty hard to torque the bolts though.
Just complete feel.
That should be alright.
Well, look at the gap again. Like, yeah, why is the gap that much? Like, the rocker, like, they're worn, but that's probably why it's not getting any compression. But it's not like these settings are way off either, right? It's not like they're all the way up. It's really annoying. You gotta turn the key off, turn the pump off. I don't think this engine's going or anything else. Sounds like compression. Let me check let me get my compression tester.
Put your thumb on it.
I'd say that's 400.
Weak?
It's weak for sure, yeah. I think it feels like it's bottoming out. Why was it running before?
But that one, you're maybe you got some pressure on. This one's got pressure on it. It's not gonna come all the way up. Same with that one, right? It's got pressure on it.
What was going on? It was running for a bit.
Yeah, it was running for a bit.
Let me get my ejection pump fixer tool.
What do you think is wrong?
It's not getting fuel. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
If we knew it was wrong, we'd fix it.
Just keep hitting it.
before where the rack gets stuck.
Yeah.
And then you just give it a little tap with a hammer to bounce it back. And that high quality fuel that was in there.
What's behind this cover? Is that gonna leak?
No. Just pull them off and send them out.
I'm gonna wreck that gasket.
Then you actually gotta need a hammer too.
See, the barrel's moving though, but that's up here, isn't it?
No, the barrels would be down below, I would think. Oh no, they're supposed to move this, right? No, nothing's happening. So let me try and turn that up. There we go. Ah, that's better. I bet the governor was stuck. Like I had to flick it to get it to go. Now it's moving. I bet you could start it like that. It does nothing when I move that. You're getting a good spray pattern, enough to make it run at least idle. And we had a really nice spray out of that injector. Ready? That should be enough fuel to get it to run. It's a good engine. I don't understand. We just need Kevin to hold the screwdriver there. Now there's a giant flame going on over there. It'll be fine. Kevin, is your insurance up to date? Not. Soon it'll start running on its own oil. Just the valve settings off so much?
Yeah, like it could just be that the rest of it can't make, because it's smoking like crazy. So maybe
it cleaned up for a second. But like, look at this gap. What happened then? Because I set that to 6 thou. That's like a quarter inch.
Smoke.
Like, look at that.
Yeah, like how did
I set that already. So
how's that ever gonna run right?
Is the camshaft wiped?
Oh, that's not good. No, I think it's broke. Can you weld that back on there?
It's just a bushing in there, right? Is it bent?
Looks pretty good to me.
There's another Deutz at V&R. I can grab another rocker assembly.
Should you pop a head off maybe? Just to make sure that's... We don't
just quickly pop a head off? Yeah. I need this engine. Alright, we should call it quits. Just like we should have called it quits days ago. But we're doing this for you guys. I looked it up and the valve setting on this is 6 thou. That's more than 6 thou. They're all more than 6 thou. So we've got valve sitting pistons, which is bending our push rods. I've made a new rocker arm bolt, the one that we snapped, and we're ready to rock. So the only thing, the intakes are all hitting the pistons, the exhausts are fine. Now the only thing that connects the all intakes together is the camshaft. So I'm thinking the camshaft somehow spun on the camshaft drive gear. Unfortunately, you guys know that I welded the drive pulley to my crankshaft pulley here, so I can't take that off. But this one's luckily got nice access port here to get at the camshaft. It's really nice. So what we're gonna do is line up I've lined up my engine to top dead center. Number 1, compression, which is at the back here. You think it's at the front, but it's not. And you see there, it says 1, and then 2, and then 3. Okay, so since the dowels didn't work, I had to grab my magnets to hold up on the lifter. So basically stick them on there and then zip tie them together. And then roll your cam over. It'll push the lifter to the top and then your magnets will hold it in place. I only had 2, so I had to run to Princess Auto, grab a couple more. We got 4. Tie that together. If you hear a tinkle, 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 it's a bad day. It's that, or you just passed some kidney stones. I don't know what you're doing right now watching the video. Make sure to go around twice. Make sure all the magnets are still on. Could be better. That one could be better. That one could be better. That could be, what? Try again. Okay, got our timing mark here. Got our magnets in place. See if we can. One tooth. We'll take these off, set the gap again, and see if we need to go another tooth. It's still hitting. So let's back that off and see how big the gap is. And then we can compare and make sure we're going in the right direction. Yeah, so the gap is about half the size as it was. We gotta go another tooth. She was way off. That's crazy. All right, got my timing cover kind of back on and silicone it. See what happens. Still a little noisy. All right, one more tooth. All right. I moved it 2 more teeth. Yeah, why not? As I was setting the valves, I could feel more compression. So I'm not gonna try it inside. I'm just gonna take it outside and fingers crossed, light her off. Here we go. Change the fuel timing just a little bit. The holes are slotted. Let's see if we can move it a little bit. Went one way, that didn't help. Let's see if we can go the other. I think we got more. How can we get that old payloader to run with mud coming out of the exhaust in like 20 minutes, and I've spent like 20 hours on this stupid thing. It doesn't make any sense. And there's tools to check the fluid coming out of the injectors and all sorts of metering stuff. I don't have any of this tools. Not like I would ever do this on a customer stuff, but let's see what happens. This thing's taking a lot of abuse. So she's being stubborn enough. You're gonna pull number 1 ejector, Put a wire down in the hole, make sure that the piston is at top dead center, make sure that our mark on the camshaft is pointed over. Talked to Willie at Canadian Diesel and he said sometimes those cam gears spin on the shaft. So that's what I was hoping for, but not likely. I think something happened to the crankshaft. So that throws the pump out of time too. So we'll make sure that the crank and the cam are timed together. At least we'll have compression then. We got a little ether kit off of a tractor there that we can throw into the intake manifold. We really only needed to run for like 30 seconds at full throttle. We'll see if we can take this off. You might have to make a little bit of a hole in there just to see the timing mark on the pump, and we'll see if that gear is keyed or if it's a press on that injection pump. In my defense, it was already running, so I thought it was dirty fuel. A lot of mistakes were made. Anyway, we got our just aluminum rod in cylinder number 1, found top dead center of the crankshaft. Then I went back to my cam gear. Now you can see I've got one tooth to go before I actually hit that center tooth. See it? So that makes me believe that I was out 5 teeth. Now, if I look up in there, you can see the mark. There's a dot on a tooth, and that tooth is 5 teeth off from hitting my idler. That means that the crankshaft keyway sheared. And that means that I need to take this off. I should take that off. Or I'm gonna try and move that gear, line that gear back up again, turn the pump, and hopefully when we run it, it doesn't spin farther on it. Hopefully the keyway's jammed up in there so bad now that the crankshaft gear isn't gonna spin on the crankshaft anymore. So we'll pull that pump off, pull the gear out, see if we can put the gear back where it meshes, and then we should be good. Here we go. All right, so that drive on the pump is keyed, so you can only put that in one way. Now you can put it in one of 3 spots, 30% chance of getting it right. So what I'm gonna try and do is take that gear out that's still in there, slide it forward. I think it hits this case here. I might have to snap that off, and then move it, the 4 teeth, and then put it back in again, and we can do final adjustment with the slots in the gear. Here we go. All right, so once you knock that dowel out of the way, that stops your gear from being able to leave the teeth. But I got it. So I got the dots lined up there, and top dead center there. I'm off by 1 here. I gotta advance 1 more tooth here, and then we should be good. Here we go. All right, so it's running. Hey, finally! That one was a bugger. That one put up a good fight, but we won't give up until it's done. So hopefully you guys appreciate this, because I spent about 20 hours on that stupid thing. 20 hours that I should have been working on other stuff, but I couldn't let this go. The big disappointment of you guys not seeing it run and shoot some flames. So thanks for watching. Again, this is just us goofing off. There is nothing rhyme or reason. Don't take a Sawzall to your timing cover. Check and make sure it runs before you can't take the timing cover off. But it ran. So anyway, here we go. All right, I'm gonna light her off today. I think I fired it up 1 more time inside the shop. Just both engines to get some heat in them, because outside is pretty cold. We're gonna try and do this a little better. We got lots of fire extinguishers and lots more at Kevin's place, so we should be good. Otherwise we'll just drive ahead a little bit. It's all snow. Here we go. All right, so here's the plan. We light the torch, Fire up the Cummins. I hand control the little spray coming out. We see how much comes out on the pilot. Hopefully lights. Then I'm gonna go shut off the tanks. So the torches are irrelevant. So it's just the pilot that stays lit.
Okay.
I'm going to fire up the fan, and then you run the controls to add and subtract spray at the back. Got it?
Yeah. All right.
All right. All the controls in the cab. Off is forward.
Yeah.
You got the throttle, full throttle on the Cummins. Should be good.
I hopefully can follow directions well, and then we'll go from there. Ask my
Do you have
wife,
a
I don't
reference?
follow directions well.
I got my fire suit on. I'm gonna put my helmet on to protect my pretty face. There we go.
All right, giddy up. That was kind of fun running that.
That was worth it. Oh, that's four. I don't know if I like, but it's neat seeing like the swirl on it, right?
You should stand back there and take the temperature. See how hot
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty cool. All right, let's try to get the Deutz going again. It's still third? Just seat solid.
Try to turn it over with the key.
The little flame. Let's do that again just for fun. So if you need to strip aluminum, just light it on fire. Look at that. That's aluminum underneath there. Nice and shiny. Took the paint right out.
Perfect.
And what happened, I think, is the gears sheared on the crank, threw off the timing.
Yeah.
And then I think it moved again a little bit, and that was the end of it.
But now you have an upgraded Deutz with a real easy.
It's easy access.
Two-piece.
Some of those rubber straps from battery boxes,
Yeah.
and then you can get right at it. Didn't even leak that much. Like there's no oil on your.
Two-piece timing cover. That would make cam removal so much easier.
2 bolts holding it back on again. Didn't even bother with silicone. You have to put that piece back on again because that's what holds the camshaft in. Yeah, it's too bad that I got to yank that Cummins out because I kind of want to try it again with a better engine.
All your fail projects are going to end up behind this. I'm going to be careful.
Yeah, I'm kind of pointing it at the Targator, hopefully, but all right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. We don't know what we're doing yet, but for now, I got to pull that Cummins out because it's going in an Escalade. So, best story for that Cummins ever. This is the one that was in the biggest Cummins 7-cylinder flamethrower. Now it's in an Escalade. Who would have thought? Here we go.